and we are here to do a quick and dirty on HBO Max's Kimi, starring Zoe Kravitz, who's about to go to stellar reaches because she is playing Catwoman in the new Batman movie that drops.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, it drops next Thursday, I think it is. So,
live action?
Yeah.
Oh.
The Batman, with Robert Pattinson.
Okay.
She's Catwoman. She's Selena.
Oh, okay.
Kyle.
The way you described it made it sound like it was like her own Catwoman movie or something like that.
No, that's Halle Berry. We don't talk about that.
Well, it could be in production or something like that. I don't know. Yeah, no, that movie's awful. So, anyways, go ahead.
Steven Soderbergh
Mm-hmm.
directed this one, and it's a small budget thriller, and Zoe Kravitz plays a girl who suffers from agoraphobia, who's a fear of going outdoors. It takes place during the pandemic that we're all still hopefully at the tail end of at this point, and she has a romantic relationship and works for a company that puts a product out like Alexa and Siri, and it's called Kimi, and she is somebody who actually works on the voice recognition software, and she is actively going through audio files of recordings of people that are giving commands to Kimi and stumbles across what appears to be a crime. And
Shenanigans ensue.
And this movie has shades of Rear Window. And this is kind of important because we talked about Brian De Palma wanting to be Alfred Hitchcock and how I think he kind of gets it really wrong. This is a movie that gets it right. They reference that original source material, but they don't do it so heavy-handedly. And everything that's
they do other things heavy-handedly in this movie instead.
So what are your thoughts? Tell me what you thought. So
this film. That's what I think about this movie.
Don't beat around the bush. Tell me what you really think.
So Zoe Kravitz, who's a fine actress, I'm not faulting her or her performance. I'm faulting the direction and what they had her do, because she's an insufferable bitch in this movie. I mean, seriously, she hates on her mom, hates on the dentist, like everybody she comes in contact with, she just absolutely hates on, for no real reason other than she's just whatever. I mean, so she got assaulted. You find out eventually through this film, but does that give you an excuse to be a dick or bitch to everybody you come in contact with? I mean, literally everybody she comes in contact with, even her fuck buddy across the street.
Boyfriend. Whatever.
Whatever. Boyfriend my ass. Bullshit. So I mean, that kind of sucked. And then there's a lot of contrivances in this one too. Like, she just happens to have a pro grade mixer recorder set up so she can analyze her stuff. But there's a lot of contrivances in this thing that were just drove me up the wall. But I will say this: in the end, it kind of half-ass redeemed itself. Because she did this, they did a really clever thing with Kimi at the end to help her get out of her situation. That was super clever.
Yes,
I give respect to that. And then at some point, her character actually kind of changes in those last 10 minutes of that movie. If I had that Angela, who's the name of the character through that whole movie, I would have enjoyed it a lot more. I didn't need her agoraphobia. I think that stuff is kind of played out and passe. It really didn't have any effect on her in the movie, to be honest with you. If you took that aspect of her out of the character, it would have been fine. It didn't need to be there.
See, I think that's why, when you watch Rear Window, he's in a wheelchair. He can't move, and
I got that, but this really, but other than the fact that she stares out the window, it really has nothing to do with Rear Window.
Well,
it's an aspect of the movie that didn't need to be there. They just kind of threw it in there just to be in there, and her agoraphobia and all this stuff. I don't know. I don't think it needed to be in there. I think if they would have took that character, and I think they could have done more of a comedic twist on this. Actually, towards the end, when she was taking motherfuckers out, I was kind of chuckling, giggling, really going with it.
Yeah.
If they would have kind of changed the tone of it and gave her more a Goldie Hawn style character performance, in Foul Play, I would have dug that. I really would have enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So that's my constructive criticism on this one. So go ahead, all you, buddy.
I was going to say, for me it worked because she and I realize it is kind of timely, and it's most definitely of its time.
And that's kind of another aspect too. I don't think it's going to age very well because of that.
You're not wrong, but I will also say that this kind of ties into. I think the last movie that he did before this one was Unsane, And that was all about mental health. That was about the girl that was actually in the insane asylum, and she finds out that there's a reporter there who's trying to uncover like the seedy shit that's going on there, and they discover what he's doing, and he's gonna uncover all this, and she also thinks that she's being followed by a stalker, and she is, as it turns out. So if you enjoyed Unsane, this one kind of segues off of that one, I guess is the best way to state that one, because she was assaulted, she was sexually assaulted, she has PTSD from that, she has become agoraphobic, and you're saying like, she's a bitch to this person, she's a bitch to that person. I kind of see that as it's sort of natural in that character, in that she doesn't want to go outside. She's still afraid of going out because of her PTSD, which has led to her agoraphobia.
Doesn't give you excuse to be a bitch.
So you're not wrong, but if you deal with anybody that has big mental health issues, the last thing you want to do is tell them, all you got to do to get over it is do this. And you get tired of hearing that shit. Zoe Kravitz's character is kind of tired of hearing that shit too. So in that regard, I get it. And I think that he kind of nailed it on that one. But
the only time she ever hears that is from the mom. And the mom...
Well, she hears it from her boyfriend as well. Because when they first set up, he goes down to the taco truck, and she's like texting him, "Hey, we can go down there. We can meet up." She
invited him down there.
Yeah, and he's
and
like,
so
yeah, sure.
It's like and she couldn't make it down there because she had a panic attack.
Yeah,
and then later he comes up, and then she has this big freak out. Like, you can't do this against the rules on this stuff. And he's like, well, I thought since you invited me down, you're trying and all this stuff. So at some point, you gotta stop being a bitch.
Well, I was gonna say, it is a little heavy. They do lay it on thick at the beginning of it. I think they're trying to broadcast it to an audience that might not just pick up on it, or if they've just done it with
how can you not pick up on it?
Well,
come on.
Say, if they had reeled her in, if they had not made her so belligerent, and tried to express all that was going on with her emotionally through a bunch of dialogue, it would have been a snooze. It's much easier to watch her have a freak out and be a bitch than it is to listen to her talk about her condition. If you ever want to watch a boring movie, watch a movie where a character tells you about everything that's wrong with them. Yeah. Because no matter how bad it is, oh yeah, that's terrible. Yeah, that's yeah, okay, all right, okay, oh, even more. All right, let's go with that. Yeah. So this movie shows it doesn't tell. It demonstrates it through her personality and her character traits. She does go through this big ordeal and works out some of her fear, works through her PTSD, works through her agoraphobia, does actually go outside. But I also like the fact that that neighbor that they keep flashing over to, the big heavyset guy with the beard, turns out that he's got issues too, and the only reason that he came outside was he saw her, knows that she doesn't go outside. That all worked for me. Everything from that point was, when she goes to the office to drop off the files, and she meets Tom Hanks' wife. I can't remember her name off the top of my head.
Doesn't matter.
And everything there, when she leaves the apartment, it all gets really good.
That's why I started to enjoy that movie.
And that's about the halfway mark of the movie. But yeah, it is a lot of setup. And I'm going to throw that one out there right now. But for me, it kind of works. I get the references to Rear Window, but they're trying to do it in a way that she's still able-bodied, as opposed to Rear Window where he can't walk. So he's got to sit there and watch a crime through his window. And this is for a digital age. She catches a crime because she's, doing voice analysis and correcting the AI for voice commands that are given to Kim.
Yeah. And see, here's where I think they could have done something else there too. Because like in the movie The Guilty that we reviewed with
Jake
Gyllenhaal, if they would have explored her aspects of her job a little more like they do in that one.
Yeah.
Because that's just him at a phone, and it was never boring. It was always intense. They could have focused on her job and really dig deeper into that crime, and I think that would have worked too. But
you're not wrong. You're not wrong. I was gonna say there are nitpicky things. There are things. This is not a perfect movie by any stretch, but it is an engaging movie, and I was entertained. And Zoe Kravitz really does prove she's got chops.
She's a good actress.
She's solid.
I won't fault her.
Yeah, I expect to see really big things from her starting in about a week. So she's already out there.
Yeah.
I mean, if you don't know who Zoe Kravitz is, climb out from under that rock. But
she was an X-Men First Class. She was like the Wasp fairy girl.
Wasp.
Was that actually her name?
Yeah.
Was it?
If it's who I think it was, but I mean, my Marvel I know enough about Marvel.
No, because Wasp was like the Ant-Man and Wasp, but it doesn't matter. She's an X-Men First Class. So she has wings.
Yeah.
So.
Just like a maxi pad. So it's a recommend for me.
Not a recommend for me.
No?
No.
So not even with no addendum, no like
caveats?
No.
No. Sorry.
All right, Mike says don't watch it, and I say shit. You're already paying $15 a month. You might as well. So when something else pops up, we'll do another quick and dirty. So anything else?
No.
No.
See you guys the next time.
All right.